Hey guys, I think this particular note is about product discovery, and it has become so important these days. With this, in the context of like building products, and one of the most famous, product discovery techniques are double diamond, where initially you try to kind of take an approach of discover, then diverge, and then define, then converge, and then develop and deliver. So on, it's like two diamonds. So where discover, then diverge, and define, converge, and then deliver and develop. In the same when I wanted to kind of take some time and kind of define my thinking, or kind of capture my thinking around product discovery. One of the things which one of the goals of product discovery is to find out the least expensive and most appropriate discovery technique for any product. And a lot of times what I have seen is that depending on the context, depending on whether it is a feature, depending on whether it's a purely technical solution, or you're just trying to do the discovery for process improvement, or trying to come up with a new product concept altogether. I think the discovery techniques that you employ are very different, but the main goal remains same, that you have to minimize waste, and you have to find out the least expensive and most appropriate discovery technique. And there are two goals of it. Number one is minimizing waste for sure, so you don't build the wrong product. And the second goal is to minimize the risks. And there are about kind of four kind of risks which I have seen that we try to minimize during product discovery techniques. Number one is value risk, and number two is viability risk, number three is feasibility risk, and number four is usability risk. Now I think in my mind about a table which has got two columns. Number one is the first column is about methodologies, and the second column is about when do you really apply these methodologies. So let's talk about first, which is Crazy 8. Crazy 8 is a very kind of very quick, rapid technique of generating a lot of ideas to try to when you try to solve a particular problem. Especially I have used it in the context of really solving well-defined operational problems, or well-defined growth hack problems. Think about if you have to kind of improve the customer acceptance rate for a particular, let's say, change that you are making, and the terms and condition has to be accepted, and you want to achieve 100% by a certain date. You think about your different ways: email, SMS, push notification, things like that, or some other creative ways like changing the copy, things like that. So Crazy 8 is one way of kind of generating a lot of ideas, and then you kind of find out all those ideas, or stack rank them, or prioritize them. The second one is job to be done. I'm a big fan of this framework. Essentially, job to be done encapsulates this idea that try to find out the real reason why you should try to solve a particular problem. Keep asking the why, and don't try to don't get sidetracked by symptoms. Try to find out the root cause. And the third one is importance versus satisfaction, and this is applicable to a lot of scenarios where you have to improve a particular operational process. You're trying to gain make some process efficient. You're trying to optimize a particular user journey, and then you try to map all different kind of scenarios in importance and satisfaction kind of metrics, and then you try to find out the ideas which are very important and still a lot of users are less satisfied with. And the next one is surveys. I have conducted kind of a lot of surveys, in-product surveys and just forms and those kind of things in several kind of product organizations where I have worked on. And where do you apply? It helps in making kind of decisions. For example, should you integrate with kind of Clever or should you integrate with Google Classroom? In a edtech kind of context, you can just conduct a survey and ask all the schools and teachers that, hey, which product do you guys use? It also helps in problem identification, and it can also help in prioritizing certain solution ideas, and it also kind of be very helpful in understanding more about the users, getting some feedback from the users. The next one is kind of bunch of ideas around user interviews, usability testing and gorilla testing. I have used a lot of these in different contexts and different product problems that I was trying to solve. When can you apply this? You can apply it when you're trying to generate some qualitative insights, when you're trying to build your confidence into the right problem to solve, or whether the solution is the right one to kind of go ahead or not. Let's say that you're trying to come up with a new educational game and you want to come up with a prototype. You can test it with usability testing, some concurrent probing. You can also kind of conduct some gorilla testing. I have done it for several games that we had to launch. You can also use it to collect feedback on prototype. You can validate your solution, and you can also kind of gather some early feedback about the solutions that you are thinking about, and conduct user interviews to kind of understand a little bit more about products and solutions. The next one is affinity mapping, and this concept of RTB, which is rose, thorns, and buds. So this is particularly helpful when you are trying to identify themes and problems and insights, when you are trying to workshop together and trying to come up with analyzing a particular process, analyzing a particular user journey, analyzing a particular kind of business problem, and see that what could be some insights, or what could be some pain points that you can solve, or what could be some of the things which might be working well. So rose, thorns, and buds. An interesting idea is the red or fake door test as well, when you just try to put a landing page and see how much kind of interest are you getting. A/B test is another kind of discovery technique. People also call smoke and mirror test the same fake door test. So yeah, that's pretty much about kind of product discovery. Hope you find it useful.